administers development financing this way must be changed urgently, and one made that is fit for purpose. The urgent need for socio-economic transformation must therefore translate into an even more urgent need to redesign. The Pan-African aspiration for socio-economic transformation based on Agenda 2063 looks at African solutions as the primary intervention in confronting African problems. At the forefront of this agenda is regional and continental integration aimed at unlocking Africa's potential on a scale that will make our continent the epicenter of a new industrial age. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area is both a continental and a global game changer. Its scale is unprecedented. The upshot is that it has already inaugurated a market with a population of 1.4 billion people, of the world's youngest people. The critical imperative in integration is the elimination of barriers and borders and the intensification of connectivity through road, rail, port, and fiber optic networks. Investment opportunities are clear and compelling and also abundant in our continent. At this moment, Africa needs a development financing institution framework that can handle this unprecedented opportunity effectively and deliver transformation in terms of integration through connectivity, economic development, and climate resilience. This is why I am proud to be here today to celebrate with the Trade and Development Bank. TDB has demonstrated to us that it has been the African development landscape and evolving to meet its challenges. As a result, it has been growing and evolving steadily. The journey from the PTA Bank to TDB Bank has not been one of mere rebranding or superficial change. Our region signaled its irrevocable commitment to expand and accelerate economic integration when the preferential trade area transformed into financial arm the PTA Bank followed. Only a decade ago, TDB had an asset base of US dollars 1 billion. It has since experienced a tenfold, almost, expansion of its asset base and is active across global financial markets, including New York, London, UAE, China, India, and Japan. The bank also has a commanding footprint across the continent with presence in Mauritius, Zimbabwe, Ethiopia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as its headquarters in Burundi. Most encouragingly, it is gaining visibility as a strong investor in strategic development projects. You've heard about the Lake Turkana wind power, and an effective partner in economic transformation. In fact, we in Kenya have witnessed the bank's capacity, dynamism, and expertise from close quarters. As a nation undertaking an ambitious trade agenda under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, as well as a continental and global leader in green and renewable energy, it has been encouraging to have the TDB as a partner in mobilizing financing for various initiatives and projects. For instance, the bank collaborated with other partners, including commercial banks, to successfully arrange and disburse more than $500 million of trade financing to various entities and long-term capital for SMEs. The bank has also been an active supporter of many local enterprises in cross-border investment, thereby promoting the integration agenda both inward and also in deed. As a founding member of TDB's growth and transformation, as an African success story, TDB not only anchors our aspiration for regional and Pan-African integration, it repositions Africa as the emerging site of global transformation and complements our agenda of redefining our continent as the home of abundant opportunity and potential. This capacity to profile Africa effectively in terms of more possibilities and less limits is a significant contribution that unites the Sustainable Agenda 2063, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, and a new approach to effective climate action and economic transformation. On this 39th annual meeting of the Trade and Development Bank, I see promise and I also see opportunity. I take this opportunity to appreciate the leadership of my good friend, Mr. Admasu Tadesse. He was among the first people when I was sworn into office to come and offer me some advice, which I take very seriously. Mr. Managing Director, I credit you for your great leadership and vision and the leadership you have provided to your team at the TDB, and you have our support as Government of Kenya and as a shareholder in your great institution. Congratulations to the entire group for your excellent achievements as were listed by the CEO. I wish you all good luck and great success as you continue to work the work of shining a light on Africa as the continent of the future. You have all our support this afternoon. And to all the good people who have come from different parts and even the people who are joining from Ghana and from Senegal, we welcome you to this institution, and we look forward to working with you and making sure that we build a financial institution that will support the development of our continent, the progress of our countries, and to support what we must do to create opportunities, create jobs, create enterprise, and make sure that we deal with the challenges of underdevelopment and deal also with the challenges of poverty and create wealth for our nations. You have all our support, you have all our encouragement, and whatever it is that we can do at the policy level, please let us know so that we can support these institutions to be built, because we are benefiting from institutions that have been built by others. We have an opportunity to build these institutions, and we must not miss that opportunity to support these institutions so that they can play their role better. Thank you very much. God bless you. Unfortunately, I have to go. I have an appointment with the good people who have hired me. So I have to enjoy the rest of your deliberations. Asante sana.
We may now take our seats. Your Excellency, the President of this great nation and the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, the President, TDB, Admasu Tadesse, the Cabinet Secretary, Treasury, Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, all Cabinet Secretaries present, all Governors present, all Principal Secretaries present, all partners and captains of the industry, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, sir, with your permission, at this point, I would like to invite Mary Kamari to come and make some opening remarks. Let's put our hands together as we welcome her.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Honorable Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, Cabinet Secretary, the National Treasury and Economic Planning of the Republic of Kenya, and TDB Group incoming chairperson and a host of governor, Dr. Honorable Lenganadine Padayachi, Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Development of the Republic of Mauritius, and the TDB Group chairperson, Admasu Tadesse, the TDB Group President Emeritus and Managing Director, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, Governors, and TDB Group, Board of Governors, Excellencies, Ambassadors, High Commissioners, partners, clients, and stakeholders, distinguished guests, dear all protocols observed. My name is Mary Kamari, Group Executive for Corporate Affairs and Investor Relations. I would like to welcome you to the 39th Annual General Meeting of the TDB Group of Board of Governors, which we have the immense honor to have opened today by none other than His Excellency, Dr. William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you, Your Excellency, for being with us today, despite your busy schedule. We deeply appreciate your time. And a warm welcome once again to our governors today, to the city of Nairobi, known to many, the green city in the sun, and the only city in the world with a national park on its doorstep. Some of us have been here for quite some time, still enjoying your country, Your Excellency. I'd like to extend appreciation to the National Treasury and the Economic Planning of the Republic of Kenya and Honorable Cabinet Secretary Professor Njuguna Ndung'u for hosting this year's TDB Group AGM. Your Excellency, Kenya is one of the founding members of TDB and has been one of the homes of the operations hub of our bank since mid-1990s. As we'll be hearing from our Group Managing Director, we have now moved to our new home in Nairobi. Distinguished guests, our bank, TDB, has transformed into a group. As our speakers will hear from our president, is now 38 years Treasury and Economic Planning of the Republic of Kenya. Welcome, sir.
which has come this far to support our development discourse. I will make sure that I recognize the protocol as set out. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government of Kenya, I would like to warmly welcome you all to Nairobi, Kenya, and to the 39th Annual General Meeting of Trade and Development Bank Group, which is themed Agility and Adaptability for Sustainable Growth and Impact. And that for us is very, very critical coming from where we have come in this period of the perfect storm, the persistent shocks that have hit the economies. Let me also acknowledge the virtual presence of the chair of the TDB Board of Governors, Dr. Padayachi, who is going to be virtually present. And he hosted us last year in Mauritius, and others who also have taken the virtual attendance. Fellow governors, the theme is very, very important for this annual general meeting. And we want to look into it in terms of adaptability and agility. And it resonates very well and the relationship that we have in COMESA, SADC, and the East African community is going to play an important role to actually realize the opportunities through which we need to reform and recover our economy. We in Kenya are looking to do our best and our part as one of the financial hubs to help attract and support efficient investment into Africa, as well as trade in the bloc and create payments infrastructure that is going to be supportive of that. Fellow governors, regarding financing engagements with TDB, Kenya has worked closely with the TDB as a financial partner and has enabled investment in various projects that are very important in terms of areas of renewable energy, for example, the Turkana Wind Power Plant. It has supported our SMEs, it has supported our healthcare, it has supported the agro-industry and banking and finance. And more importantly, we are working towards the telecommunication and the real estate sectors. TDB has structured finance and even trade finance products for Kenya, like the G2G, which has actually provided us with deferred LCs, which has given us some space in terms of petroleum supply for a longer period, but more importantly, has given us some strength to withstand the volatility of the nominal exchange rate at a time when we needed that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also turn focus to the TDB group. And the TDB group has achieved great milestones over the years with its investment, capitalization, and even its own ratings have improved significantly. The group has increased its capacity and global networks, intermediating international and regional capital into the region on relatively attractive terms compared with what other sovereign financial institutions and corporates can get on their own. I wish to commend the TDB Group's spirit of innovation, especially its capital and group structure that is enabling greater capacity for regional interventions. In the last decade, TDB has attracted 20 institutional investors that consist of African-based pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, international financial institutions, and insurance companies among the 42 shareholders that comprise of the TDB Group. The TDB Operations Hub in Nairobi that we will visit this afternoon is also a confirmation of a strong partner in future, because having such a hub gives us commitment that it will be there in future. To the group president, my friend Adimasu Tadese, please accept our heartfelt congratulations to you and your team for not only maintaining high credit ratings over the years, but also you have continuously improved the structures, the systems, and policies, and even acquisition for new sovereign and institutional shareholders. We have benefited a lot in terms of advice. We have benefited a lot in terms of working with us whenever we have different and difficult periods of solutions that we really needed. Fellow governors, TDB remains committed in supporting African countries without imposing high-risk premier despite the prevailing negative conditions in our countries brought about by negative and persistent shocks. For this reason, I reaffirm Kenya's commitment to the TDB Group and to its vision to be a world-class African trade development finance institution, advancing the economic development, integration, and prosperity of the region. We are proud of our bank and salute its committed the management, and staff for its achievement. As the bank marches forward, I personally look forward to continuing to be part of this success story as the governor and even more. On this note, I would like to thank all of you for being here today, and I also want to wish my fellow governors fruitful deliberations during today's 39th Board of Governors meeting, and I very much hope you'll also enjoy the stay in Kenya while attending the TDB business. So welcome and asante sana.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your remarks. As you highlighted, we've intervened in many sectors in this country. Your Excellency, one of the key landmark projects the President has always reminded us is Turkana Wind, and we take pride.
Your Excellency, our host governor, Admasu Tadisi, TDB Group President Emeritus and Managing Director, Honorable Ministers and Excellencies, Governors of TDB, Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, partners, clients and stakeholders of governors, let me join Cabinet Secretary Professor Andrew Guna and welcome you all to this 39th Annual General Meeting of the Board of Governors of the Trade and Development Bank Group, albeit from a distance. I regret not being in Nairobi in person, but I'm pleased to be able to participate virtually. First and foremost, today I would like to express our deep appreciation to His Excellency President Ruto for well over 1 million jobs are held by women. We have also supported improved access to energy and infrastructure, industrialization, and also health and education. TDB Group contributes to the security of supply of essential commodities which are strategic to our stability and economic growth of our member states, while also promoting greater intra- and inter-African trade and regional integration. Likewise, the group co-finances its member states' strategic infrastructure plans to promote economic growth and support forex-generating export sectors, local ownership, and import substitution. Furthermore, it contributes to our region's industrialization and the integration of our economies into global value chains while strengthening regional ones. An example is the financing of 5 cement plants in 5 different member states involving some $200 million. In addition, it works on reinforcing the continent's financial industry by working with local financial institutions through which it supports SMEs. Your Excellency, Mr. President, fellow governors, ladies and gentlemen, over and above its impact and service, it is uplifting to note that TDB has recorded strong performance in the various areas of portfolio and asset growth, as well as profitability and credit quality, standing tall among its peers. As testament to its stability and reliability, TDB Group has maintained strong credit ratings. Moody's affirmed it as investment-grade Baa3 ratings with a stable These credit ratings confirm TDB Group's commitment to maintaining financial stability and its ability to adapt and respond even in very adverse global macroeconomic conditions. As the Finance Minister of Mauritius and the TDB Governor for my country, I'm proud that several of our subsidiaries are domiciled in Mauritius, including its youngest, the TDB Captive Insurance Company, in addition to Eastern and Southern African Trade Advisors Limited, the fund manager of our successful Eastern and Southern African Trade Fund. I'm also very keen to discuss the theme of this year's AGM. The topic of this year, agility and adaptability for sustainable growth and impact, was indeed chosen wisely and perfectly in line with the agenda of the government of Mauritius. While Mauritius has successfully rebounded from the COVID-19 crisis with a GDP growth of 8.8% in 2022 and an estimated growth of 8% for the fiscal year 2023-2024, our aim is now to accelerate the pace of our green transition. To achieve 60% of our energy mix from renewable energy, I have announced in the last budget speech major reforms, incentives, and measures. I have no doubt that the discussion held in the context of the 39th AGM of the TDB Group will give further insights on these key topics for Mauritius and many other African countries. As Tony Elumelu rightly said, the transformation of Africa is not one man's job. It's a job for all of us. This is precisely what, through TDB Group and all together, we are working together. Ladies and gentlemen, as I close, I would like to express our high appreciation and gratitude for the outstanding work accomplished by our highly skilled TDB Group management team under the leadership of Admasu Tadesse, Group Managing Director. I also wish to similarly extend our appreciation to the Group Board of Directors and in particular to the Chairperson and the Chairs of the various board committees for their steadfast stewardship and guidance. These are under the leadership of Honorable Professor Ndungu. TDB Group will continue to thrive. I look forward to passing on the baton. On this note, let me once again express my gratitude to His Excellency President Ruto and to our esteemed host minister for the warm welcome extended to the TDB Group family. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Honorable, and the Chair of our board. As you heard, Your Excellency, despite the challenges that we faced, all of us, under his chairmanship, the bank was able to deliver great results and development impact, and also welcomed 6 new shareholders. Let me now take this opportunity to once again introduce our Group Managing Director and our President, Mr. Admasu Tadesse, to give his remarks. Welcome, Mr. President.
Good morning, everybody. I will try to be efficient, as financial institutions are often expected to be, so allow me to align myself with all the protocols that have already been observed. But I must at the outset give my deep thanks to His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, for gracing us today and giving us the opening remarks later on. I would also like to thank the Chairman of the Board of Governors, who we just heard from, Dr. Padayachi, for giving us leadership over the past years and giving us an excellent welcome in Mauritius, where we have our principal offices. On the occasion of this annual meeting, I would like to take a few words to recognize Kenya's historic role as one of the architects and founding members of TDB in 1985. All institutions go through history, have turbulent times. We had our own share. And the Republic of Kenya was one of the visionary member states which nurtured and protected TDB in its beginnings as we were finding our feet to grow and transform into the award-winning autonomous financial institution that we are today. One that has transformed into a group and that now has assets of about $8.4 billion under management. We also have several subsidiaries today and a much wider geographic footprint that crisscrosses the entire continent, including West Africa and Central Africa as well. Today, ladies and gentlemen, TDB boasts 47 shareholders, of which 27 are sovereigns and 20 are institutional shareholders. They come from different regions of the African continent, and we have two particular sovereigns that are new in this annual meeting today, and I'd like to call out and welcome them. We have the Republic of Ghana and also the Republic of Senegal, who are now new members of TDB. And for those of you who wondered why we love these two countries so much, yes, we do love them, but they also happen to be the respective homes of the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, which is based in Accra, Ghana. And of course, Senegal is the host country of the African Civil Aviation Commission, which we also lend to. So it always made a lot of sense for us to have these countries in our mix as well. I should also very quickly mention that we're delighted that the Republic of Botswana from SADC has also joined our membership. They come on the foothills of Mozambique and also one or two other countries in the sub-region there who had not been in our mix. And this just shows how we are coming of age as being the bank of the tripartite. The tripartite region, as you will know, refers to the COMESA Regional Economic Community, the East African Regional Community, and of course, the Southern African Development Community. This group of institutional investors that I referred to earlier on, today, together collectively account for almost $300 million of institutional capital invested in TDB since we innovated our capital structure. This is a symbol that African capital exists and is willing to invest in its own development in Africa. Very recently, we had the occasion of launch based in the year 2022. We managed to record very strong performance yet again. Our institutional performance reflects a group performance that has several entities in it. I'd like just to take a moment to recognize the leaders of the different entities within the group. We have the CEO of the Trade and Development Bank, which is Michael Awori. Mr. Awori, if you can just stand up so people can see you. And in case you thought it was an all-male show, it's not. We have the lady who runs the Trade and Development Fund, Madame Gloria Mamba. Gloria Mamba. And then we have Mr. Daniel Lamchun, who runs our Trade Finance Fund out of Mauritius. He's not here today, but we are happy to acknowledge him as well. And then the last entity within the group is our TDB Captive Insurance Company, which is spearheaded by Dr. Goodman Chakanyuka, who's also here today. If you can stand up. In 2022, count is notable. We're also pleased that through our trade finance window, we focused on tackling the disrupted supply chains and the disrupted trade flows that we all grappled with in the context of all the discontinuities worldwide. And we managed to boost our growth by 13% year on year in the trade finance space. Across our operations, we have delivered fit-for-purpose financing to a mix of clients. We serve not just governments, but also corporates and SMEs, as well as other banks within our member states. And we often do this in partnership mode. We syndicate with other financial institutions, with other development banks, with commercial banks, and we also crowd in insurance partners from within Africa and also London, the Lloyd's of London group, that is. We have also continued to observe high standards with respect to environmental and social safeguards, as one would, of course, expect from a DFI. At the end of 2022, I'm happy to say that 71% of our portfolio exposure was for transactions that posed low or no environmental and social risk. So we are also walking the talk in terms of observing the triple bottom line ethos of development finance. Against this backdrop of developmental returns that I've spoken to in project finance across various economic sectors, I would like to now turn to the matter of the bottom line. We are a financial institution. People are always very interested in the bottom line. And in this regard, I have referred to our asset size having reached $8.4 billion, but I'd like to happily share with you that we managed to record a net income for the year 2022 of $210 million. And we managed to maintain a healthy level of asset quality